Hello. Uh, okay, hopefully this is working on this one. Maybe on this one it isn't. Probably not. Dun, dun, dun. Hopefully it is working now. Yeah, it is. Okay, great. Great to hear. This one is just duplicate this one. What am I doing? Why am I duplicating that? Alright. Whatever. Let's just... Can I turn this off? Yep. That should be working. Okay. Is there something I can change here? Maybe. I ask myself if I could. Does that work? Does this one work? Maybe it works. Still terrible. Well, this one should be because I already. Okay. Anyhow. Well, hopefully you can hear me. Let me just double check that it wasn't working before for whatever reason. Just shouldn't be surprised by. Be surprised. There you go. So this is stream number 76. Also, hopefully you can hear me a little bit better, because if you've been here before, I had an issue with my mic a few streams back. So I finished this. I haven't posted it onto my socials. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if it. I don't know if I like it. So yeah, I don't know. Time will tell. I like this one though. I really like this one. Yeah. I don't know why the camera just decides to reset for whatever reason. Doesn't matter what I do. It decides to reset. This up. Anyway. Okay. There's something else. was mentioning there. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bam-ba-bam. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ba-ba-bam. Okay, so today I've been thinking, I looked up a few images. I don't know if I will do this one, this one, or this one. I really like this one. It's along the lines of the last few I did, like the lion, the hyena, the cheetah. I really like this picture. Yeah, this is simple enough. Could get a really nice image out of it. Uh, as far as I can remember about this animal, the water buffalo. They're really deadly. I think they're like the second most dangerous, the second most dangerous animal. Sorry for the yawning. In Africa, right next to the hippo. Ironically, like one would think that like crocs and lions and hyenas would be the most dangerous, but it's actually the hippo and probably water buffalo. I think it's related to the fact that they we live really close to each other, so that could be a huge part of why that happens. Oh, I think our baby woke up. Oh, poor baby. Oh. Anyhow, all right. I mean, it's talking. Well, technically, it's been 5 minutes. So just, just chill. Everybody, chill. Okay. Also, in other news, I decided to set up Discord. I'll see how it works. If I find that it's useful for people and for like coordinating, well, words can be a little bit complicated in a different language. um I will continue to use it. If not, I will discontinue the Discord. But for now, you can find it on the description here if you want to join. I'm thinking of alternate ways of kind of making like monetizing the things I do for social media. So I'm considering a Patreon, but I don't have enough following to think about it. Like if I do something like that, I would want for people to get something from it. So the only way I feel good about it is if you can like, I don't know, if I can figure out a way that people can get something from it. Whether it could be feedback. That's a an interesting thing. Like if you want feedback about your artwork, uh, I don't know. I can set it up that way. So if you're interested, you can subscribe and you get feedback for a drawing or I don't know something like that every week or every month. Oh, what was that? Sorry. Hopefully I can figure that out. You know, I really been feeling beaten down lately. But as I mentioned multiple times, I'm not one to give up. So, as I mentioned, I'll just continue with my streams and we'll see how it all goes. Alright, just this goes here. This goes here. Usually I try to frame the drawing first, like the big shapes. Hi Stephanie, how are you? Eh, it's going. Alright, this is this is how that goes. The middle of the head. Just have this. Oh, good to hear. Okay, so this goes like that. I really like that. the, the fellow just chilling. And I'm pretty sure like they don't mind those birds because they get them out of like it removes parasites from the buffalo, so like kind of a some symbiotic relationship at its purest form. The buffalo provides security and safety for the birds, and the birds get a ride and a meal. Which is, it's very funny. There, if you look at a bunch of pictures from buffalo, you can find different types of birds. But I don't know the name in English, but I think that's a pinson. I don't know. It's a type of bird that actually Darwin studied a lot for his theory about evolution. That still today there's some people that argue that that's not real. But yeah, science, maybe. Yeah. With that being said, there's also kind of this high horse attitude of certain aspects of science, which is fuel the point of the people that don't believe certain things. But right, I always found a little bit weird the shape of their horns. Like, if you haven't seen this, there's I think there's a few videos of water buffalo uh, pursuing lions. They really don't like lions. They hunt them if they can get their hands on them. They're super aggressive. Like, lions usually stick to other type of prey. They don't mess around that much with water buffalo unless they get really desperate. Because they don't mess around. Like, you get a few of them really determined, and they've known to kill lions. So they make them run, which is wild to see. And you can see the lions like getting on top of trees and trying to escape the the pursuit from this wild creature. I think they kind of hold grudges or something. They probably have good memory. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't think people have studied that. Like, if we start to figure out that a lot of other animals are smart as we are, that's not gonna hold up in regards to us consuming other animals. And I say this and I eat meat, but doesn't mean I don't feel that if we had another like a real alternative rather than what we have right now, I'll probably stop eating animal meat. I don't know. It just I am one that thinks that we, at the very least, if we are intellectually above all creatures, which I would argue against it because you have many examples of them uh, being really some creatures being really advanced. So yeah, you could argue against it. Um, I feel that we need to do better in our stewardship of the planet. I really do. Oh, I overdid it, and now it looks a little bit weird. Eh, gonna pump the contrast on this. Could you please stay. Maybe it's the low light compensation. Contrast, brightness, sharpness. Okay, okay. Please let me know if you see that it reverts back, which it has done in the past. And it's really frustrating, but I can only do as much as my pockets allow me to, really. And yeah, at the moment, that's as much as I can do. Alright, maybe I need to do better. Okay, what's that? Just gotta. I think for I was listening to a podcast, and somebody was saying on the podcast that you have to try to stay away from becoming cynical, and like that's like once you go down that path, it's really hard to get out of it. So yeah, I guess I sometimes can be a little bit, but I try to fight it. Try to fight it. Fight. It still looks dark, so probably it's good. Is it good? Is it? Looks like he's taking a nap. I don't know why. Am I too? I feel like I'm chill right now. Am I too over the top? I, like yeah. When I'm over the top, it yeah. I let that show every now and then, but most people I don't show that. Oh, I was mentioning. I don't know if you saw it, but I was mentioning that I set up the Discord. Like I activated the Discord. So if you wanna join, whoever is watching or is interested in that sort of thing, you can join. And I guess you can ask me questions there. You can share stuff, and I don't know. I'll see about the feedback because maybe that's a way I can get some monetization, as I said. Because yeah, it feels like all these platforms just uh, just play around with you. Huh? I don't. Do you have to? Well, I guess yeah. Yeah, you have to make an account to use Discord. It makes sense. I was like, I don't think you is or maybe because here's my thought. Before anybody comes at me, which maybe not because I don't know how many people watches this, but YouTube you don't need to have an account to actually watch YouTube. So there's that. So that's where my thought process went. And I made up like why is the ear so large? It should be like that. There's a lot more distance between the two. Dun, 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 dun. Did I drink too much coffee? I think like I find it hard to drink a lot of coffee right now. Like, what is a lot of coffee? How much is a lot? Because let me tell you something. Babies have the capacity to a pot of coffee. You could argue that. I think I am at like around 4 cups of coffee, something like that. Like throughout the day, sort of thing. It could be more. It could be more. I don't know. There's an argument to be had about that, but the thing is, babies are when they really small, and I guess even when they grow a little bit more, their whole system is new, which means that it's like a new battery. You can charge that thing for like a baby can sleep for like 30 minutes and they're completely sharp, like good as new in 30 minutes. Meanwhile, during that time, you're just looking after the baby and yeah, there's no you're not gonna feel refreshed even if you get a 30-minute nap. So I don't know. It's it's a whole enterprise, which is really funny because I saw there's a dude on TikTok that was he made a video like saying people say that taking care of baby is harder than taking care of puppy. Like people who say that have never had a puppy. And yeah, I see their argument because we had to go through the entire thing like waking up in the middle of the night because you started listening to vomiting sounds like oh my god, you just jump out of the bed to see what the hell is going on, because the dogs, they don't care. So they're gonna do their thing. Doesn't matter if it's on the couch, on their bed, on a carpet. So you better, if you if you don't want to end up finding something awful in the morning, you better look after that. And the same thing goes, like if they want to go to the bathroom and so on and so forth. And they can start walking around the house really quickly. Babies are way more dependent, of course. Yeah, but yeah. In my case, I guess they take turns. Um, like like the baby needs something, and then, because I think it's kind of, I feel for the dog because our poor dog, like I couldn't say that he's being pushed aside, but he probably feels a little bit of that. He hasn't. Like I play with him every day and look after him every day, but he had our full attention for all his life, and now he has to share that attention, which means that sometimes the baby needs something from us, and he just, I think he gets like jealous. So let's say you have to change the baby, and he started, "Oh, I don't know, he wants to go to the bathroom." Like, really, dude? Like, right now? You need to go right now. Right now. It couldn't be like 5 minutes ago. It cannot be 5 minutes after. It has to be right now. So that type of things, it's funny. And usually pets are super attached. So especially, like, we have a our dog. We got our dog during the pandemic, so he's super super attached to us. Like, for example, with cats, I'm pretty sure you can you can leave for some time and they're gonna be fine. They don't. When you go back, they're like, "Oh, you're back, cool." But dogs, you like our dog, you leave him alone for a day. When you go back, he's like, "Where were you? It's been 3,000 years. I've been 3,000 years alone. I thought you were never gonna come back." So, like, the most melodramatic thing. It's like, dude, we've been gone for like half an hour. You have no idea. It's been horrible, horrible. And yeah, it takes him a little bit of time to readjust. Did it reset? It probably did. You freaking, you reset it. Why are you resetting? Just stop the freaking 60. Stop. No. And no. Just hit that, okay? Deactivate. Activate. Hopefully that made it a little bit better. And hopefully it stays like that. I You have no idea. Like, we've wanted to test that out. We haven't, and we probably can. Like, I can set up like my phone or something. Oh no, I actually, we both want to do that because we also have that theory that if we leave a camera, he probably eventually like goes to sleep. And by the way, goes to sleep on our bed, quite probably, because yeah, for quite some time he used to get on the bed, but uh, ever since we knew that the baby was coming, like my wife didn't want him to get on the bed anymore. So yeah, that also has been a little bit of a transition. But uh, he's still like he's aware that the bed is really comfortable, so he likes it. So whenever he can sneak in, he tries to, and yeah, potentially gets a little bit yelled at. Like, get off the bed! But yeah, what are you going to do? If it were up to me, just up to me, I would hang out with the dog all the time. I don't mind it. I really don't. But yeah, to me, dogs live too. Their lives are too short. Really, that's how I feel about it. I should live like 40 years. That's what I think. I got lost in what I was saying. I was talking about the dog getting on the bed. Well, they like he freaks out if we live like for 30 minutes. Like, where were you? Oh my god, this was horrible. You know, like the. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like. I don't mean like in bad health. I mean like fully. Like 100% version of themselves. Actually, I saw. I don't know if that was BS or something, but I saw that there's a. Apparently, they figure out a way to reverse aging in dogs, and they have a some sort of drug, a medicine that they give to dogs to de-age them. And I also know that there's people like in the Middle East, in the Emirates, that I saw it from like a Japanese scientist that I'm guessing it was funded by one of those kings, Arab kings, um, that he clones animals. I'm I don't remember if I mentioned this before on the stream, but yeah, apparently the dude figured out how to clone animals, and he've cloned like um, camels and horses and dogs and so on and so forth. But that's like it's not the same dog, man. I don't know. It's weird. Reminds me on the I think it's the sixth day or something. There's a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, that um, he kind of like, I think they lost their pet and he went to a place and was able to get it back or something, or he didn't want it. The thing is that the company where he worked at apparently had a insurance that if he died, they could clone him, and they in that universe, the family, I think they weren't notified, so they just they send the clone to your house. They load them with your memories. They don't tell the clone, and they just send them, and that's the plot of the story. So in that this topic, like in that world, um, what happened to him was that all of a sudden, because he was alive, he went home and then he saw himself inside his house and was like, "What the hell is going on?" And that's the plot. Sorry for the spoilers, but that movie's like 20 years old or something. Yeah, I have terabytes of data about movies. I've been actually thinking of like maybe I should just focus on like I should make like a YouTube channel just to talk about films and that sort of thing, because that's like, if there's something I know about, is that like my wife tells me, I don't know if I mentioned this in the past, but she get she tells me that it's really annoying to play with. There's on YouTube you can find a bunch of trivia videos where it's like guess the movie just by listening to the music, and like almost all the time I maybe here's the caveat. If you on that note, if you put something that's really new, I would probably not guess it. But if it's a little bit older, I most likely know exactly what it is. So yeah, she gets a little bit annoyed, but like it's really annoying to play against you, but it's the best if I have you on my team. So yeah, I have a bunch of information about movies. I I also like I think I mentioned that I was watching Silo the other day on Apple TV, and I was like, this, because my wife, it's up to like the second season, so my wife doesn't mind spoilers, and that thing is supposed to be three books, and so yeah, we started talking about that. So it's like, this sounds a lot like Fallout. So I started to just pull on the thread, and like Fallout came out. The first Fallout came out like 14 years before the books. for Silo. So it's pretty much a bit of a ripoff. I guess it's I don't know how much of storytelling you like, how much of that whoever's watching is into that sort of thing, but uh, Silo takes itself way more serious than Fallout. At least if you compare the series to each other. Fallout is like cartoonish in certain aspects. In others, it's like super crude and real, but it has so many things like okay, this is a cartoon. Uh, of course, it's not, but it's like it doesn't take itself too seriously. That's what I'm trying to say. It has some comedic notes to it. On the other hand, Silo takes itself really seriously, so it feels a lot more Orwellian. Uh, yeah. Which, by the way, it's a little bit freaky that we're in a time that is this level of George Orwell. 1984, is that the book? It feels a lot like that. Or the Hunger Games. I also saw, I don't know, the other day I saw, I don't know where I saw it, but there's a reality show that they're making. It's like the Survive or Last One, something like that. That, like, dude, you could, like, the only thing they're missing is like the sectors. But that thing is the Hunger Games, basically. Like, they make it so that the family participates on the thing, and they send like, the family can coordinate to get resources sent out to the person that they're supporting. So, and they're looking at it from a central station with a bunch of TVs that they follow the participants around. That's freaking the Hunger Games. More and more we're making shows about the, like, Squid Games. Uh, well, I guess Survivor has been a thing for years and years, but I don't know. We think we need to chill from that. Like, bam, 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 bam. Look at that. Kind of looks like the picture. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. You know what I've been thinking? That maybe what I should do is go to a plaza and start painting. Like, become one of those. I've talked about this with. I had a teacher that always said, like, the most real version of like, the dude that goes to a plaza and paint. It's honest. It's an honest version of an artist, but you have to have the right mindset for that. Yeah, I don't know. Paint people, paint whatever people, people's pets or something. You know, like those dudes in the carnival, they sit and they have all the sketches with the markers. And they get paid for drawing couples. That takes real skill to do that at the speed that they do it, and well, with different levels of success. I would say some of them are really good. Some of them, yeah. I'm just saying caricature artists because that's the fastest version and the one that you see a lot in public spaces. But there's others and that do other types of things. They paint their own stuff and they just sell that. I'm just rambling. So I don't know. I've thought of it because yeah, with the whole eh, thing of getting monetized doing artwork. It's a whole thing. That's the thing. Like you have to have the right mindset. You have to have the supplies. I'm not. I don't want to come across as I'm putting up an excuse. Like you really need. Like if you want to do it properly, you need some. Like you need to set up properly, and also be mindful that people can just uh, take away your stuff and run away, sort of thing. So you have to be in a lookout also for that type of thing. And as I said, you have to put in like I'm not very sociable. I guess let me be clear. I can be, and I have been, but it's not for me. It's work. I have to put in the work to do that, and I have to be in the right mindset because it drains me. Like I if I have enough interactions, because I was like for a while I was attending public in a printing place, and I would end up drained, like to a point that I didn't want to speak at all. Like okay, I had my speaking quota is filled for like a week. I don't want to speak anymore, but I had to do it every day for a long time, and yeah, there's some people that uh, get energy from it, and there are others that not that much. I guess also the other aspect to it is that it wasn't just talking to people, it was like the speed at which you had to go through attending to the client, like getting the order correctly, and moving on to the next task. So yeah, like the cycle, the turnaround, like I don't know how many people per day you would attend. 30, 40, I don't know, 20. I guess it depends, but it varies, and depending on the amount, you could end up like really drained. And there's some people that are great at that. There's some people that aren't that great at that. In my case, I even once got like a positive note, which I didn't expect because my thought process was that yeah, I'm not really. I never thought I was like good at it. I was like, I'm terrible at this, but I'm doing the best I can. So, but yeah, I felt drained every time I did it. The thing is, the main thing was that you needed to have the mindset of trying to help the the, the client, and that's what you should do no matter what you're working at. You should try to help the client. Sometimes that task in itself it's easier than others. Sometimes it can be really straightforward. Sometimes it's super vague. Like, okay, I'm trying to help me help you. I don't really know how to help you. I'm trying. And every now and then you get one of those particular clients that nobody wants to have. And yeah, I wish I learned faster to fire clients. That's something you also have to learn. Like, yeah, I think this is not working out. I think we should all uh, go our separate ways, type of thing. Forgot to film any of this. But I do prefer filming well when I already have something to show for. Okay. When you get monetized, you're still. I guess you could argue that. Yeah, I guess. Hmm. yeah, yeah. There's that's like a whole thing because it's our society favors anyone that is into that sort of thing. If you're way more reserved, you have to still jump through a bunch of hoops and do a bunch of stuff to still. I don't know, our society is weird. I really think it is. I think value should be considered based on not just. My point is, there's people that are successful that you could argue that they're not really that great in certain things. Yeah, on that you're correct. So maybe the thing is, you could quite probably argue that I'm not that entertaining. And yeah, I guess I have to like think about that. Do I want to to look too entertained? I know I can be entertaining, but that's the thing. Do you always want to be entertaining? Forever. For the rest of your existence? Like I got into this. I mentioned this in the past. I got into this because I'm the type of person that prefers that my work speaks for itself, but the reality is that yeah, you still have to to chat up about, like, you still have to talk about your work and do like I don't know. There's arguments to be had about that. Like, do you want to have 30 meetings about different things, or do you want to actually focus on the work? Are you not entertained? Yeah, I I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I ask myself that same question. That's what I revolve around because yeah, it seems like it doesn't matter the what you try to pursue, you still have to entertain people, and it's like, dude, this is exhausting. Like, why? I mean, within reason, huh? Dress up as a clown. Yeah, maybe that's it. Certainly feel like that sometimes, even though I don't think I am. But Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I do think about those things, you know. I do this type of thing because I really enjoy doing it. Um, but the other stuff, like get on this app, do this thing, jump through this hoop, then jump through this other hoop, and it's like, dude, at what point did you just do the work? That's related to what I was saying yesterday about what do you prefer, being lucky or talented? Maybe I'm just not talented enough to be like to get across the uncanny valley of because before it used to be like if somebody is super like Dali for example, oh he's eccentric. Well, you could argue that I think Dali was like a little bit schizophrenic or something. uh, no, I'm not trying to. It's just that I see your point. It's just that my mind. The thing with creative minds is that you it goes all over the place. I go back and forth between a bunch of stuff, and so your mind wanders. And I I'm also super self-reflective. Like I do a lot of introspection about a bunch of stuff. You could argue that I overthink, but yeah, I don't know. It's just I lost my train of thought. I was talking like I'm pretty sure Dali was like schizophrenic potentially, but what I was saying is that they took it as oh he's eccentric. The whole word eccentric. Like if you are able to break through, then it's fine. You're just weird. But if you haven't, society just has an excuse to push you aside if they don't deem you worthy. Sounds awful, but I'm 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 talking from experience. What I'll agree with you is yeah, it's not good to bring you down like that. Part of what I tried to do with this streams is inspire people. So not the best approach. Oh, well, I I feel for you. Uh, Sometimes life can be rough. Um, I think we just have to keep going and enjoy what we can. Enjoy our blessings. Um, be truthful to yourself and to the people you care about. Uh, try to live an honest life in all aspects. So, yeah. Like my mother's husband had a brother that already passed away. That he was schizophrenic, and it was really rough on that family. It really was. Uh, yeah. And I think the toughest part is that he was a really kind person. Uh, he's just kind of trapped within himself. Yeah, it's really terrible, and that there are levels to it too. So yeah, I think we all need to count our blessings, be thankful that we're here, that we get to experience the world, the sun, our loved ones. Enjoy a good meal, like simple things. Like the I can tell you that even though I've I've had my ups and downs in regards to success, what I've enjoyed the most is the most simple things. It really is. Like going for a walk with my dog and spending time with family and most of the really valuable things are not, they don't have actual tangible, uh, it doesn't have a price tag. It just doesn't. It's, you cannot put a price on it. So yeah, I get really philosophical. So I actually started like you mentioned the book. I've listened to it. I've I think like I'm past the 2 hour mark or 1 hour and something mark. I've been also reading like the, what's the name of the freaking book? Meditations from Marcus Aurelius, which is also really interesting to read. And just imagine what it was like. Yeah. Anyhow, I already passed the hour mark, and so I'll be ending the stream soon. Guess I have to post 2 videos. Don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, but we'll see. If you decided to watch my stream, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. If you haven't, consider subscribing, hitting that like, and hitting that bell. All that good stuff is completely free for you, and it helps me a bunch. Yeah. Well, as I mentioned before, I have my deck of cards on my website. You can find my work also on Redbubble, and that you can also find through my website, or you can look me up. Yeah, likewise. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. I'll be cutting the stream, so until next time, bye.